Now, this is where we have all the items on the box, the placement rather. We have the isolator switch, the various switches, some lighting, and if we come to the top of the box, we'll see we have more items installed in the box. This is one port for 12 volts, 30 amp, again for model airplane use. We've got the USB switch. We've got the cigarette lighter 12 volt port. And we've got that one there. And then we've got the second port, which is the 12 volt 30 amp power source. We've two of them, one here and one here, all with the switch. And we have the we have facilitation for 220 volts as well. Not a whole lot, but enough to do simple things. We have a charge port here to charge the battery, and I'll come back when all this wiring is done. The wiring we'll be using today is 14 gauge silicone wires for the heavy stuff, and just some normal 12 volt 10-15 amp for the likes of this USB port and the cigarette lighter. So I'll come back to you in a second once all of this is wired in, and I'll run you through an explanatory of how it's done. Now here we are on the inside of the box, so we'll take you through a little bit of the wiring of what we done. So as I say, the USB is done with just standard automotive wire into this one switch here. The shunt, which is the model PZEM15, is just some standard alarm wire, 4-core. This is maybe 2 days later, 2 days work altogether. One more switch here for the cigar lighter. And if we come down here, we have the switch for the main ports, for the 12 volt ports. This is a nice strong switch. It's rated for 30 amps. Actually we can see it better on this side here. 30 amps. Then what we have is the charge port, which is routed. There's two routed with two routings for the wires, and they both have fixing on the hinges, wire fixings on the hinges here and here. We have the battery installed and wired with the shunt as per instruction manual, blue and black on one side of the shunt and yellow. The yellow was a bit short, so I continued it with a bit of red onto the load side of the shunt. They're all covered with duct tape just in case. They don't touch anywhere, but just in case. And if we move to this side of the box, we have the bus bar with all the negatives here. main negative, and all the negatives in the box coming to there, and a fuse box here with all the positives going to it. And it's fed through this breaker, which is a 60 amp, which I showed you on the parts outlay. And of course then under that we have the inverter, which is the small little 300 watt inverter under there. And that goes to the port outside, which is 220 volts. Yeah. Right. Time to power this box up and see how it performs. I'll be back to you in a flash. Okay, so first power up of the solar generator box, and here we go. So we have the breaker inside to on, and here we go. Powers up nice. The shunt is on as well. Let's see. I'll start. Okay, they work. The inverter. Okay, it works. And we have this USB port. Yeah, 13 volts on display. Cigarette lighter port, okay. And port 1 and 2, they're also working. Now to confirm that, we'll just give it a quick test on the multimeter. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. 13 volts. And the shunt also says 13 volts. Okay, there's 0.1 of a difference, which is minimal, very minimal. So I'll do a video on this shunt as well, on how the setup is. This is an Amazon shunt and battery monitor, 100 amp. Okay, it all works. And what we're going to do is we're going to test 220 volts. So like I said, this box is more focused on the charging of very large LiPo batteries for model aircraft use. So we're just going to test the AC section with a simple DeWalt charger, and then we're going to see what the like I said, because it's so just bear with me till I reposition the camera. Yeah, so that's working too. Excellent. And as we can come back around this section here, we'll see what the wattage. It's 2.7 amp. Okay, so that's the box finished after a couple of days work. And like and subscribe. We'll take you back to a full function video of the box where we test it out to its capacity.